Good afternoon, Star Ledger readers and NJ.com viewers. I'm Brendan Prunty here with Darryl Slater, once again on the Seahawks beat. Another day of press conferences, talking to players. Quick bits of news. Pete Carroll, Seahawks head coach, said that wide receiver Percy Harvin practiced again today. He's full go on the game plan, so barring him slipping and falling out of the bus, which is entirely a possibility, he's going to be there on Sunday. And then obviously the Seahawks did not practice outdoors like the Broncos did. They were inside. Give us a little bit more on that, obviously.
Yeah, we'll see what type of impact that actually has on the game. But, the Seahawks were inside at the Giants facility today. And Pete Carroll mentioned last night on Sunday night that there was a good chance they'd be inside all week. So that's not really a surprise to hear him say it. And also, not a big surprise about the Percy Harvin stuff either. He was on track to practice, having been up in Seattle. That he, obviously a very injury-plagued year, and the latest being the concussion in the divisional round, and now, really talented guy. Could be an X factor in this game. In fact, he was the X factor in the graphic in the newspaper.
I think he's the X factor of all X factors. Speaking of guys that sort of are flying a little bit under the radar, I know you talked to fullback Michael Robbins today. He's a former Penn State quarterback. He's been I think now in the league for almost 10 years now. He's sort of a veteran presence on this team. A lot of guys talked about how he's, he obviously has been with San Francisco, been with the Seahawks. You talked to him a little bit. What's his mindset going into this week?
Yeah, he had to deal with an illness earlier this year, a pretty serious liver and kidney ailment that knocked him out for a while, and didn't know if his career was going to continue. Sort of explored maybe getting into the media, some business ventures. Really sharp guy. I mean, a lot of folks in the Jersey, Pennsylvania area will certainly remember him as the quarterback of some of those last great Joe Paterno Penn State teams, and has really carved out a pretty neat career in the NFL for himself as a fullback of all things. And he looks, for those who hadn't seen him since he was at Penn State, I mean, the guy looks totally different. Much broader. Put a lot of weight back on after his. I
think his head's the size of ours combined.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I mean, he's an NFL fullback, and he looks very much like it. So, he's an interesting story in this game. Not sure what type of disruptive role he may have, but Michael Bennett's a guy you're writing for tomorrow who almost certainly will have a huge role in this game, right?
He's obviously Giants fans will probably recognize him as the brother of former Giants tight end Marcellus Bennett, and he was a guy he spent the last 4 years actually in Tampa Bay. Last year obviously under former Rutgers coach Greg Schiano. He said that it was a big change, personality-wise, I think. From Schiano to Pete Carroll, but obviously it's been a huge impact because he's a guy who's able to get to the passer, and against Peyton Manning, who does not get sacked, if ever.
Right.
That's going to be key. So that's a bunch of things to watch from Monday's availability, and you can stay with us all week. For Darryl, I'm Brendan. Take care.